So today we are going to look at lesson 9-2. So this is going to be lesson 9-2, and it's over translations. So as you're looking at our next transformation, we are going to take a shape and we're going to move it either up, down, right, or left, or a combination of those two. So you can see that this pre-image has been moved to the right and then down. That's a translation. It's a change in position. So to vertically and or horizontally slide, in middle school they might have called it a slide. We prefer the word translation. So you're just going to slide a figure up, down, right, left. It doesn't get flipped like we did yesterday with reflections. It just physically moves. So the shape doesn't change. It doesn't rotate, nothing like that. You're just basically picking it up and moving it up, down, right, left. That's it. So the symbols that we're going to use to show a translation, you're going to take every ordered pair. So you're going to have an XY value for your ordered pair. And then the arrow means it translates to, and then we're going to take the X value to ordered pair and we're going to either add or subtract a value. We're going to call it H. And then we're going to take the Y value of that ordered pair and we're going to add or subtract a value and we're going to call that K. So H represents the X direction movement, so that's going to be right or left. And K is going to represent the Y direction movement, which is going to be up or down. So H represents the horizontal shift, which is your right, left movement. So if your H is positive, you're going to move to the right. If your H is negative, you're going to move to the left. Your K represents your vertical shift. So vertical means we're going to go up or down. So if your K is positive, you're going to go up, and if your K is negative, you are going to go down. So let's try a few. So I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to give you a chance to do 2, 4, and 6 on your own. And then we're going to try some a little bit slightly more difficult, but I think you should find this even easier than yesterday. So let's just start and go through it. We're going to have to plot our original figure, which is going to be the K, R, S, and T. And then this right here, so you might want to highlight that. This right here is the notation for showing you how we're going to translate things. So let's plot our pre-image first. So Q is to the left 6 and down 1. So here's Q. And then R is to the left 3 but up 1. So here's R. And S is to the right 1 and down 5. And then T is to the left 2 and down 7. Then you want to connect these with a straight edge. All right, so now let's look at the translation. So we're going to take every ordered pair, the Q, the R, the S, and the T, and it says take every ordered pair and translate it +5 on the X and +5 on the 7. Well, X, remember, goes right or left. Since it's a +5, that means we're going to go right 5. And then since the Y is a +7 and Y is up or down, up is the positive direction, so we're going to go up 7. So all you have to do is move every single one of these points, right 5, up 7. That's all we're going to do. And then we are going to actually identify what those points are. You could mathematically take and add 5 to the x and 7 to the y and do the math and come up with the ordered pairs first and then plot them. I just find it quicker and easier to actually move each of these points, right 5 and up 7, and then identify the points. You can do it however you want to. So I'm going to start with Q, and I'm going to go right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because that's my x direction, and then up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I'm going to plot a point right here. So that's going to give me Q prime. And then for R, I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and plot a point here, which is going to represent R prime. And then for T, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plot your point, and that's going to be T prime. And then finally for S, to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plot a point. And that's going to be S prime. I want to make sure I did that last one correctly. Yep. Okay, so then we're going to connect the points with a straight edge. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, and then we're going to identify those ordered pairs. So for Q prime, that is left 1, up 2, 4, 6. So it's -1, +6. And for R prime, we went right 2 and up 8. So that's +2, +8. And then for S prime, we went to the right 2, 4, 6, and then up 2. So right 6, up 2. And then finally for T, all we did was move to the right 3 and up nothing. So 3, 0. All right, so then I'm going to do number 3, but first I have to, well, watch what happens. My squares don't move with me. All right, so we're going to try 3. Give me a moment to get rid of my squares. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is plot your J, K, L, and M. And so I'll pause the video, or you pause the video while you do that. Okay, so there is your pre-image plotted, and then we need to look at our translation notation. So I want you to write what you think that is. And so what it's saying is take every ordered pair and translate it. A +2 for X means right 2. And then a -2 for the Y means down 2. So then each of these ordered pairs are going to move right 2, down 2. So for J, right 2, down 2, plot a point. And so that's going to be our J prime. And then for K, we're going to go right 2, down 2, plot a point. K prime. And then for L, right 2, down 2, plot a point. And finally for M, right 2, down 2, plot a point. And that's M prime. Then we're going to connect with a straight edge. One of the things you might want to start doing is shading in your translated figure, because they're going to start sometimes, as this one is doing, they're going to overlap each other. So one of the things that I like to do is just shade in lightly my translated figure. So there it is. Last thing that we have to do is to identify the ordered pairs. So J prime right here is going to be left 2, up 5. And then K is going to be right 2, up 6. And then L is going to be right 1, up 2. And then finally M prime is going to be left 3, up 1. Now, of course, you could have taken each of these ordered pairs here, and you could have added 2 to each of their x's and subtracted 2 from each of their y's. Algebraically first, gotten your ordered pairs, and then plotted them. That's your choice. You can do it either way. I don't care. So then, I think at this point that it should make sense. For instance, oh look, I only lost 1. Let's see if I can get rid of that. Perfect. Okay, so for this one, I'm not going to do it with you, but wouldn't we move all of our ordered pairs left 1, down 5? So if you want to write that in there, this right here means left 1, because your x is right, left, so negative is a left, and then this would be down 5. So we're going to hold off on doing that one. Instead, what I would like you to do is try 2, 4, and 6 on your own, and then I'm just going to pop up the answers. So pause the video and do 2, and then check your answer. Pause the video, do 4, check your answer, pause the video, and do 6. So I'm just going to pop the answers up here, but you have to pause in order to check your answer. So you do your own work. Don't cheat and copy. So here's your answer for number 2. You can pause the video on this and correct anything you need to. Don't hesitate to text me with any specific questions on this example. All right, so pause the video and complete number 4, and then restart it to check your answer. Okay, so here's the answer to number 4. So hopefully you did well with that. And then the last one I want you to do is number 6. If you feel comfortable, you can fast forward to example 7, because that's different. But I am going to put another answer up here for number 6 if you want to just check your work again. So pause, do number 6, and check. So here's your answer to number 6. Hopefully you did well at that. So now we're going to move on to number 7. So for number 7 and for number 8, I'm going to do 7 with you so you can see what to do, and then you're going to do 8 on your own. So this time we're going to write a rule describing the translation that you see here. So we're translating from, this is our original image, over to this image here. So I highly suggest you pick one point, either the D, the E, or the F, and all you need is 1 point. So I'm going to select point D. And I want to see what did I do to point D to get to D prime, because remember, D is our pre-image, D prime is our image. That's where we want to go to. So from here, my X direction, I went this far to the right, which is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we went right 7, and then we went up right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So then we went up 4. So we went right 7, which is your X direction, and up 4. So remember to write that notation. You take an ordered pair, so X comma Y, and then the arrow implies a translation. So that says that every ordered pair is going to translate to, you're going to take your x, and because we went right 7, that's a plus 7. If it were left 7, we'd do a minus 7. So I'm going to do a plus 7, and then comma, because it's an ordered pair, then you're going to take every y value, and because it's up, we're going to do a plus 4. If it were down, we'd do a minus 4. So plus 4, and then in parentheses. So what I would like you to do is try number 8. So pause the video, try number 8, and then check your answer. So for example 8, you need to realize that you're going from this is your pre-image, this is your image. So I happen to choose the point M, so I'm going to go from here to here. So for M, my x direction is going to be left 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to go left 4. And then from here, I'm going to go up 2. So for your notation, x comma y, arrow for the translation, and then for each of your x's, we're going to go left 4. Since it's left, that's a minus 4. And then comma for the y, since we're up 2, that's a positive direction, so plus 2, and in parentheses. So that's not bad. Pretty easy, right? So let's look at 9 through 12. So for 9 through 12, now we're going to do multiple translations or transformations. So you'll see here that we've got a reflection over the x-axis and then a translation of these two directions. So you're going to have 2 different figures before your, after your pre-image. So let's go ahead and plot the pre-image first. So I'm going to plot my x, my y, and my z. So we'll start there. So for x, I've got left 3 and up 7. For my y, I'm left 2 and up 1. And then for the z, we are left 5 and then up 2. So I'm going to connect those with a straight edge. All right, so we're going to start off and we are going to do our reflection right here, and it's going to be over the x-axis. So if it's a reflection, I want to highlight the x-axis. So here's the x-axis. So I'm going to do a different color blue, and I'm just going to take this figure and reflect it over here. Now remember, reflections from yesterday means we're going to go the same distance away from this line of reflection. So if z is 2 away, we're going to go 2 away on the other side. This would be z. Now I would have put z prime and then my answers would have been double primes. So we'll just do an interim and we'll still label them z's, but make sure you're using a different color, and we're not going to connect these with a straight edge. We'll connect these with a dotted line because it's not going to be our final answer. So this is still going to be my z, but it's not my final answer, so I'm not putting a prime. And then my y is 1 unit away, so go 1 unit on the other side. So this is going to be your y. And then my x is 7 units away, so we want to go 7 units on the other side. So we're going to plot right there. So that's my x. And you don't even necessarily have to connect these with a dotted line. You can, but you don't have to. So that's my interim. That's my reflection. So then we're going to do the translation right here, which means we're going to go right 9 and up 2. So right 9 and then up 2. So each of these blue points, we're going to go right 9 and up 2. So here we go. So let's start with X. I don't know if this is going to let me do this. It might upset my recording. So go to the right 9. Oh yeah, it's going to let me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then up 2 will put me right there at, what is it, 6, -5. Yep, 6, -5. So this is going to be my X prime. So we went, that ordered pair is 6, -5. So that's our final resting place, if you will. And then for our Y, we're going to do the same thing, right 9 and up 2. And then up 2, so we're right here at the point 7, 1. And so that is our Y prime. And then our final point for Z, we're going to go right 9 and then up 2, so that puts us on the x-axis at 4. And so that is our Z prime. And then we're going to connect those. Oh, so wait, let me write that down before I forget. That is 4, 0. Now connect with a straight edge. And this is where it's going to be nice to actually shade in the figure, because not only do we have the primes on there, but if I shade it in, then it's pretty clear that that's going to be the answer that we want. All right, that's it. So that's multiple transformations at once. So I'd like you to try 11. And then we'll do 10. So I'm going to have you try 11 and then 10. We won't do 12. That should be enough. Well, maybe we won't do 11 because that's the y-axis. Let's do 10 and 12 because they're different. So you can either do 10 on your own and then pause the video, do 10 on your own and then check, or you can just do it with me, because you might forget how to reflect over y equals x and how to reflect over y equals -3. So let me get rid of my little triangle here. Okay, so we are going to start off with number 10, and we are going to plot our pre-image. So Q is right 2, down 1. And then R is right 7, up 1. And then S is right 6, down 2. And T is right 1, down 4. Connect those. Okay, so our first transformation is going to be a reflection. So we're going to reflect over the line y equals x. So remember, you've got to plot that line y equals x. Its y-intercept is at 0 and it has a slope of 1. So up 1 to the right 1, up 1 to the right 1. So I'm just going to keep plotting that all the way across the graph. Or we can go down 1 to the left 1, down 1 to the left 1, all the way across the graph. So then I'm going to connect that with a straight line, and I'm going to highlight that. So that's what we're reflecting over. And so if you recall, if we're going to reflect over y equals x, we have to switch our x and y's. If it were y equals negative x, remember you would switch the x and y and make both of them the opposite sign. So we're just going to switch our x and y, and so for our interim, I'm going to have, for q, and I'm just going to write it up here, I'm going to have a -1 and a +2. So let me write that on here. So -1, +2 would be my q. And then for my r, it would be 1, 7. So to the right one, up 7. That would be my r. And for s, it would be -2, +6. So here's my s. And then for my t, it would be -4, +1. And so that's my t. So I'm not even going to connect these points, but you could connect them with a dashed line, and that is your reflection over the y equals x line. So then our next thing is to do a translation. So our translation is going to be right here. And because it's x minus 3, we're going to go left 3, and y minus 7, then we're going to go down 7. So each of these ordered pairs here are going to go left 3, down 7, and then we'll identify what ordered pair that is. So for Q, I'm going to go left 3 and down 7. Whoop, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm right here at -4, -6. Is that right? Let me try that again. Left 3, 1, 2, 3, down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's -4, 2, 4, oh, -5. That's right. So -4, I knew I counted wrong, -5. So right there is our Q prime. Then we're going to move R. So I'm going to go left 3, 1, 2, 3, down 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're right there on the x-axis at -2. So that's my R prime. And then that is -2, 0 for that ordered pair. And then for S, we're going to move left 3, 1, 2, 3, down 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that ordered pair is going to be -5, -1. And so that puts us here, and that is S prime. And finally, T, left 3, down 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's going to be at -7, -6. -7, -6. And that is going to be my T prime. Now I'm going to connect my points with a straight edge. Our shape should not have changed for any of these translations. And I am going to fill it in, highlight it. Okay. All right, so last one that we're going to do today is going to be number 12. So give me a minute to get rid of my parallelogram-ish, and I'll be right back. Okay, again, you could pause the video and do 12 on your own and then restart it to check, or you can go along with me. So we're going to start with plotting the pre-image. So -1, +6 should be right here, so that's our G. And then -1, +3, that's our H. And then -6, that's our I. So if I connect, these are the straight edge, I get a lovely little triangle. Okay, so our very first transformation is going to be a translation. So we're going to move things first. So we're going to perform this, which if x is +7, that means we're moving right 7. And if y is -5, we're going to go down 5. All right, so every point moves right 7 and down 5. So let's start with G. Right 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that places me at +6, +1. So right there. So that's going to be my G. Then I'm going to move my H right 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that puts me at +6, -2. So there's my H. And then finally for I, I'm going to move that right 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that one is at the point 1, 1. So there's my I. Now we are going to reflect over the line y equals -3. So that means you're going to put a point on the y-axis at -3, which would be right there. I'm going to make that, just put a green right there. So there's that y equals -3, and you want to cut the y-axis into 2 pieces. So to cut it, you have to go horizontally in this direction. So this is your line of reflection right through there. That's your y equals -3. Then we're going to take every one of these points here, all through these points, and we're going to go across this line down over here. So we're just going to count our distances. So G is 1, 2, 3, 4. So you need to go 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side, which is +6, -7. So we're at +6, -7. And so that is going to be our G prime. Then for H, I'm going to take this H, and it's 1 unit away. So we're just going to go 1 unit away right here, which is at +6, -4. So then that becomes H prime. And then we're going to take our I, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 away. So you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4 away here, which is +1, -7. +1, -7. And then plot your point. And we are just about done. Let's connect our points with a straight edge. And I'm going to shade that in. And voila, we are finished. Good job, y'all. Now go ahead and try your homework. Text me with any questions.